how to love and care for something well. Sometimes I wish there were, because if there had been one, it might have helped me avoid one very big mistake. This is Maba, my pet gecko. And this is the story of how I learned the lesson the hard way. It all started in the summer of 2024. My family and I went to an outdoor swimming pool where I caught a baby praying mantis. I really wanted to keep it as a pet, so we went to a reptile shop to get some flies to feed it. But that's when something unexpected happened. I met Madam. The shop owner gently showed us the gecko. When I touched it, its skin felt bumpy and rough, and it even licked my hand like a tiny dog. Right away, I fell in love. I begged my parents to let me bring it home, promising that I would take good care of it. At that moment, I thought loving a pet would be simple, but I didn't realize how much I still had to learn. During the very first week, something terrible happened. My little sister and I kept taking the hideout out of the cage. When we put it back, we didn't realize Marvin was underneath. His leg got stuck. Soon, his left hind leg became red and swollen. He couldn't tell us what was wrong, but he began to limp, and I will never forget the way he walked. One leg stretched out, moving slowly, struggling. My heart sank. I felt terrible. I thought I loved Marvin, but in that moment, I realized something important. Loving something is not the same as knowing how to care for it. We rushed to take him to a vet. There were not many vets who could treat reptiles, so we had to wait many hours. My sister and I were heartbroken and waited nervously. Marvin was so small that the x-ray didn't show anything clearly. The vet gave us medicine, and we carefully fed it to him every day. After a few weeks, Marvin's leg was completely healed. Seeing him recover brought me relief, but it also made me start thinking differently. After that, I began learning more about geckos. At first, I wanted to know basic things, like what kind of environment they needed and when they should eat. I learned that geckos are very sensitive to temperature and humidity, and that even small changes in their environment could affect their health. I also learned that they are nocturnal, so their routines are different from ours. At first, these were just facts, but slowly they began to mean something more. I realized that every small detail I learned could affect whether Marvin was comfortable, healthy, or even able to survive. He couldn't tell me why he needed, so I had to learn to understand it for him. And that's when my thinking began to change. I began to look at things from his perspective and think more about what he needed, not just what I wanted. As I understood it more, I began to see small things I hadn't seen before. How he moved when he seemed calm or when he seemed stressed. And the more I understood him, the more I cared for him. He was no longer just a pet I liked. He became a living creature I truly understood and cared for. Later on, I came across a book called Life, The More You Learn, The More You Love by the Korean biologist Choi Chun. In his book, he explains that although many people think that love comes first, sometimes it's the other way around. And when we really take the time to understand something, that understanding can grow into respect and eventually into love. When I read that, I realized that was exactly what had happened to me. So, I want you to take a moment and think, is there something or someone in your life that you care about, but don't fully understand yet? What might change if you really took the time to learn about them? An American psychologist, Nancy Eisenberg, explains that empathy means understanding and sharing how others feel, and it is one of the most important parts of building strong relationships. That made me realize that care is not just about what we feel, it's about how well we understand others. Looking back, breaking Marvin's leg by accident was one of the worst mistakes I had ever made. It felt like a sudden rainstorm, unexpected and overwhelming, but it also taught me one of the most important lessons. Real love is not just a feeling, It means paying attention. It means trying to understand. It means putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And sometimes, what first feels like a mistake can be the moment that helps us grow the most. So, who will be your mom in your life?